Hi everyone, good morning. So it's about a week since I did my trip to visit the owner and roaster of Tasteless of Cordillera, Mr. Paul Santos, and he did a very beautiful roast of a Tublay Benguet. And it's about time that we give this coffee a taste and also give some sensory evaluation just to give a nice feedback to Paul and also to let you know how good this coffee really is. All right. And what I'll be using for my sensory analysis are my tools. I'll be using the Scentone Aroma Standard scents, which we put in these nice sniffer containers. And these are the same containers that we use, or these are the same sensory sets that we use in the Sensory Spark class that is run by the Institute. And we will also be using a classification log, and this classification log is how we write down and take note of the nuances that we're smelling and also what we're tasting. So for brewing, I'll be using my very first dripper, my very first brewer. This is a three-hole, sort of like a Kalita Wave. I got this out at I think it's Daiso 9 years ago. So basically, this brewer is a wedge type. It has three holes at the bottom, and the way that this coffee brews is that it utilizes or it controls the flow of water through the coffee bed. So it needs a certain amount of skill, but not an expert level, because the three holes are the ones that control the amount of water coming or passing through your coffee and into your cup. For grinding, I'll be using the Comandante bamboo, which is already a discontinued model. So I'm very, very fortunate to have this collector's item. So I'm done taking down notes, some sensory feedback for the dry grounds, and now it's time for the wet grounds or the fragrance as they call it. All right. So I've pre-wet already my brewer. So let's start brewing. Oh wow, that smells real good. So the next step we're going to do is we're going to evaluate how the coffee grounds are or when the coffee is wet. Because when you add hot water, there are more aromatics that are extracted, and you might or you will get things that you did not pick up when it is dry. So let's start writing down what we're smelling. All right. So for the aroma, this coffee when it was dry, it had like hints of flowers and very strong citrus, maybe sort of like orange. It also had a very nice sweet, like stone fruit sweetness. It wasn't a very citric smell to it. I think it was more of like maybe it was like stone fruit, dried fruit type, but it's very very aromatic. Because I also got colors like orange and violet, purple fruit. I think would be that, and it had a very nice strong smell of caramel and chocolate. This is really a really really good coffee. So I can't wait to taste it. And actually, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start ingesting, so we can see more about the body or the tactile feeling and the aftertaste, and also to get more of the sweetness and the acidity. So check it out, right? It's a nice there's a nice sweetness. It's like a bittersweet chocolate, um, and it has that nice burnt sugar at the end. Not burnt that it's more on the bitter side, but it's like a dark caramel. But at the same time, it's light. Um, it's not as light as tea, but it's heavy enough that it clings to your tongue, and you get it's not a very bright coffee in the sense that, well, I think Paul's intention was for this coffee um, not to be as vibrant that it spikes in your mouth, but you get that nice complexity. And what we're getting here is, mm, it's like, okay, it's like pineapple, oranges. Um, you still have that floralness, those floral notes there, and definitely it's caramel. And there's like spice. It's like a cinnamon that you can taste here. And what's nice about this cup is that it's a very clean tasting cup. It doesn't feel gritty or anything, and it has a very nice a slight heaviness to it. It's not watery, so you get that nice aftertaste. It really clings to the mouth. This is pretty good. All right, so I've put down the data on our GCS classification log. So this helps me analyze and put together, of course, my thoughts and try to pull a picture of what Paul's coffee, or his roast, what his coffee has given us. And I'm now going to input it in our flavors profile, right? So for Paul's coffee, um, and remember, flavor is not just the moment you sip your coffee, but it's everything from when you smell it. Like for example, if a barista gives you the coffee to smell before they brew it, that's part of the whole flavor experience. So what I'm talking about is everything from when it is dry all the way until I started drinking it. So yep. So I had hints of floral. I did get strong citrus notes, like orange is really there. I also got pineapple, and that was kind of strong. And a little bit of stone fruit, definitely chocolate and caramel, and I did say that there was some cinnamon. All right, so I'm done mapping out Paul's coffee. So the way that I would, using this flavors profile, the way I would describe this coffee is that this coffee has very vibrant and sweet orange notes, as well as tropical fruits such as pineapple, sweetness of stone fruit, and a very nice rich chocolate and caramel with a hint of spice, particularly cinnamon. So how about that? And this is a local coffee. This is from Tublay, Benguet. And I think Paul roasted this coffee very nicely. And you also have to remember that when roasters roast coffees, it's not a matter of them changing the coffee from green to yellow to brown. There has to be what we call the intent. There has to be that plan. What exactly is the roaster trying to bring out in the coffee? It shouldn't be a hit or miss. It always should be that the roaster has a plan, because that roaster has a certain philosophy on how they approach the heat application, and also the kind of flavors that they want to accentuate with that particular coffee. So the Tublay of the taste notes of Cordillera and the roaster Paul, good job. And this coffee is terrific. Um, Now, this coffee is something that I probably wouldn't take in the morning. It's not a Kickstarter type of coffee. But for me, this is a coffee that I probably would take in the afternoon, or it's like a leisure coffee. I'd probably grab a comic book or catch up on some Batman stories and probably have, a simple pandesal with maybe butter and sugar. Something very simple would really go well with this complex and very delicious coffee. So that's it. So thank you so much for joining the sensory evaluation or the roast test of Paul's coffee. So thank you so much, and Paul, good job, and everyone, just like, comment, and subscribe, and let's wait for the next episode coming soon.